Hey guys, my name is Kelly and I am the Car Mom. If this is your first time ever watching me or joining my channel, I have a blog on Instagram called The Car Mom and I review cars for moms and for families. I wanted to take this video to kind of tell you a little bit about the background, how I came up with the idea, and just what it's like to be a woman in the automotive industry. My family is in the auto industry. My dad and his brother own 6 car dealerships in the St. Louis area, and I have been in the business since I graduated college back in 2016. I love the car business, I love selling cars, and I think I have a really interesting perspective coming at it from both a woman and as a mother. So when I first started selling cars, I was really nervous. I think mainly because I was so young and I was selling such an expensive vehicle to people who I thought I had nothing in common with. And I also didn't really know a lot about buying a car. Everyone told me, oh, it's gonna come so naturally, you grew up in the business. And while that's true, I've never bought a car. My parents had never bought a car, so I actually didn't know a lot about the car buying process. So I really had to learn the industry kind of from the ground up, and I think learning everything you have to know about what goes into purchasing a vehicle, it's very hard to find information out there that you can trust. So that's why I wanted to start the Car Mom, to create a platform for women, families, to really just feel confident and give them the tools they need to make a good car purchase for them and their family. So I started selling cars, I learned the business, and I worked so hard at it. You have to put in some serious hours in the car business, and I remember I would work 6 days a week because I couldn't get enough. Loved building connections, I started to fall in love with the actual vehicles, and I just loved the thrill I got from selling a car. My 3rd month, I became Salesman of the Month, and I was super excited about it. I had one day, it was the month of October, and I had one day where I actually sold 4 cars, and I'll never forget how excited my dad was when I told him I sold 4 cars. It was crazy. So I stayed at that BMW store selling there exclusively for about 2 years. I married my husband and my high school sweetheart, Tyler, and I guess it was like a year and a half later, we had our son named George, and becoming a mother was the hardest job I've ever done. And I used to tell people I have worked 65 hours in the car business and I've been a stay-at-home mom, and being a stay-at-home mom was harder. Staying home with a child or with a baby all day totally rocked me. I totally lost my sense of identity, and I had gained so much respect for my mom, of course, but mothers all around the country. After my son was born, and some of my friends were having kids, I would get a lot of questions about, hey, what's a good mom car? I need to get a new car. And even myself, I started to notice I had to be a little bit more picky about what cars I was driving. Working in the auto industry, I drive what's called a demo car. So I don't own a vehicle, but I drive one of the dealership's cars for about 4,000 to 5,000 miles, and I switch out my cars regularly. Typically, I would just drive whatever was available, anything from a Nissan Maxima to, a Kia Sorento, just whatever we had a lot of. But once I started to have to worry about a car seat and a stroller, I had to start being a little bit more picky. And I quickly realized, being 6 feet tall, not every SUV can actually fit me and my car seat, or me and my husband in our car seat. And my friends were going through the same things. I had lots of friends who were becoming moms or second-time moms, and they really started to have to think about what kind of vehicle they needed next. And there's so many SUVs that are marketed to women and to mothers as good family cars, but in reality, when you get in the car and you look at the space, a lot of them actually fall short. So I started to pay closer attention about what I looked for in a car as a mother. And then once I became pregnant with my daughter, and coronavirus hit, I realized how hard it was for these moms to get the information they needed, let alone do it during a global pandemic. We didn't have time to drag our car seats and our strollers to all these different car seats, deal with all these different salesmen, just to find out that your stroller didn't fit in the back seat. So I set out on this journey to review cars from a mother and a woman's perspective. I wanted to cover all the important things like car seats, stroller, safety, but I also wanted to talk about some of the fun features. Mothers spend so much more time in their car, I would argue, than anyone else. We're doing carpool, we're driving our kids to all these practices. We are in our cars and we need to literally live in them. So things like good cubby space, a lot of USBs, cup holders, just the nice comfort features are actually really important to moms. I feel that the auto industry doesn't always target their vehicles to women because they don't think we're car people. And just because we're not necessarily like the biggest performance drivers and care about the engine and transmission and all that stuff, doesn't mean we don't care that we still care about how the car looks and how we feel in it. Women buy 50% of the vehicles on the road, and they're involved in over 80% of the decision makings. So I really feel like there wasn't anyone out there showing women what they wanted to see in the car. So since I started the Car Mom in June of 2020, it is now November of 2020, and we have 27,000 Instagram followers. I just started my YouTube channel, and I've really found that this community was so needed. I get messages all the time of women just thanking me for saving them time in a dealership. And I don't necessarily want my reviews to be the end all be all. I don't want you to make your decision solely based upon my reviews, but I just hope I can either put a car on your list or take a car off your list. I know what it takes to go into a dealership and meet a salesperson and give them your license and have them call you for 90 days. Also, that you could see is that your car seat didn't fit. So I wanted to just kind of streamline the process. That way, instead of having to go look at 4, 5, 6 vehicles, you can go look at 1 or 2. So I have big plans for the Car Mom and what I want to accomplish with it. I'm just starting out on YouTube, but I'm really excited to start bringing my tours here so I can give you better quality and more information. But in the meantime, until I get back from maternity leave, head to my Instagram at the Car Mom. I've done so many 7-passenger vehicles, 5-passenger vehicles, and minivans, and really putting them to the test. I also have really big plans to write a car buying guide so I can really give you guys all the tools that you need to feel empowered in a car dealership. And yeah, leave me a comment below with which cars you want me to do on YouTube first. And please like and subscribe.